Hey guys, it's Whitney again, and I just filmed this look for you. It's just a really natural, easy on-the-go makeup if you don't feel like getting full glam every day like I am. You only really need basic products for this, and most of you should have all of these products in your collection already. And so just keep watching if you want to see this look.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be using this Clinique foundation. It's the Even Better foundation. I'm in the shade Ivory, and I purchased mine at Macy's. And I'm just going to give it a little squirt on the back of my hand. That's a lot of foundation. Holy crap. And I'm just going to be taking my finger and making little stripes on my face. And you want to do this if you're using a brush, which I am today, because I find that if you dip your brush in, your brush holds a lot of the product and it gunks your brush up like really bad. Really bad. I'm going to be using this oval brush. It's a really good dupe for the Artiste brushes. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I think it's called Royal Crown brushes. I'm not really sure, but I'll try to link it in the description box if I don't forget. I just wanted to speed this part up a little bit. I'm just buffing it in with the brush. I don't really have much of a technique for this other than going in circular motions. I find that it keeps it from looking streaky. And if you find Next, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is by far the best concealer I've ever tried, and I've tried Urban Decay concealers, a bunch of different kinds. I haven't got to try the Tarte Shape Tape yet, but that one's still a little pricey, and I just don't think I can go away from this one because it's so cheap. But I'm just covering my dark circles, covering my little guys you see right there. I've recently been getting a lot of breakouts around my mouth, and I think it's because of a lipstick that I've been wearing. Let me know if that's ever happened to you in the comments. Also, I'm just doing a little highlighting on my nose, chin, and forehead. This is the Flower Beauty Sponge. Sorry, mine's a little dirty. But I'm just going to be pouncing this into the skin and dragging the concealer up onto my eyelid as a primer because we are in a hurry today, so we don't have time to get out another product. And it works just as well as primers, so. And it's really important that you go back and forth. That way that you really get into the creases under your eye. That way you don't create creases by skipping over them. You really get down in the creases and get a lot more coverage. To set that, I'm going to be taking the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. This is my holy grail powder. It's my favorite. I'm just going to take my sponge and dip it in, and it is a little damp. You want to make sure it's not too wet, but I find that this really locks the powder in when you use a damp sponge. And I have to set my entire face. I have really oily skin, and if I don't set my whole face, it is just a greasy mess. If you have dry skin and you just want to set your concealer, you can do that and just kind of skip over, the rest of your face. Now I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You can get this at Walmart. And I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Angle Blush Brush. It's supposed to be used for blush, but I don't care. We can do whatever we want with makeup and with our tools. Makeup has no rules. So I'm just focusing this right now in the hollows of my cheeks to make my face appear slimmer, and then just doing a little bronzing to blend. Just try to stay around the perimeters of your face just to give yourself a little bit of warmth and color. And just make sure that you blend it so you don't have that line. You don't want to look like you have a line. You want to create a shadow. And this is just, my quick contour. I don't really full-on contour every day, but I do try to get a little bronzer in the hollows of my cheeks because I do have a chubby little face and I don't like it. So if you have a chubby little face, you can do this and make your face appear slimmer. I also like to get around my temples and on my forehead, around the perimeters, because it just kind of evens out the tone overall on your face. If you just do it on your cheeks, you can really tell that you've applied bronzer there and nowhere else, but it makes it look more natural and makes it match better if you put it on your forehead as well. And right now we don't have time to contour our nose, so I'm just taking this brush and running it down the sides of my nose to kind of create a smaller effect and to give a little bit of color. And right here I am kind of carving out my jawline just to make my neck appear thinner because, you know, I'm a chubby little baby. So also, this helps everything to match. You know, you want everything to match. You don't want to have big brown blotches all over your face, or that's not how you want it to look. I like to do this when I don't have time to really create an eye look because I already have my bronzer out, so I just go ahead and dip an eyeshadow brush into it and just pop it in my crease for a little bit of color and dimension. And honestly, it's the best thing ever because it's just so quick and easy, and you don't have to worry about blending too much because there's not much pigmentation you have to worry about unless you're really, really fair. So this is something everybody can do, no problem. Just blend that, blend it, blend it, blend it, and build the color. You know, you can build the color however much you like. It just depends on your skin tone and how fair or how deep a skin tone you have. And I also like to take my eyeshadow brush, the same one I was using on my eyes, to kind of make, I don't know how to say this, make my eye sockets look bigger, deeper. I find that this makes my eyes look bigger whenever I create, you know, like a little shadow right here. You don't have to do this, you can skip this. It's kind of excessive, but I like to do it. And I also like to create a little shadow under my bottom lip because I like the look of fuller lips, and my lips are pretty thin, so that's another little trick. I'm going to be using the Tarte Rainforest After Dark palette. I'm going to be using the blush out of that. And if you know where I can get this blush as a single, please let me know, or find a blush similar to this because it is my favorite blush ever, and I really don't want to buy another palette just for the blush. And I'm using another e.l.f. blush brush. This one's more tapered, and it's honestly my favorite blush brush. I can't find another blush brush that I really like. I've said blush brush so many times, oh my god. And I like to apply my blush closer to, you know, like the tops of your cheekbones where you would normally put highlight, just a little bit lower. A lot of people put it on the apples of their cheeks, but I just feel like my face is way too round for that. If you have a slimmer face, you can do the apples of the cheeks method. Sorry, my boyfriend's little boy kept coming in the bathroom. Now I'm taking the L'Oreal Infallible Paints liquid eyeliner. I like this eyeliner okay, but it's not my favorite. I just happened to buy it and didn't want to waste it, so I'm just trying to use it up before I buy a new eyeliner. And we're just going to line really close to the lash line just to make our lashes look a little fuller. Next, we're going to be taking the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. This is my favorite mascara ever. And I'm using a travel size right now because I ran out of my full size, but this mascara is amazing. It's a little pricey, but it's just one of those products that I can't find anything that beats it, and I'm willing to pay the price. I'm willing to pay the price. It makes your lashes so long and curled. I love it. And if you notice, I put my mascara on pretty slow. I kind of drag my lashes through. A lot of people are really quick with it, and that kind of like irritates me a little, but everybody has their own method. And now we're just taking that on the bottom lashes, and I struggle with this so much. Oh my gosh. My bottom lashes are so long, and I know, like, oh, poor pitiful me, my lower lashes are so long. But they clump together so bad, and I always get mascara all over under my eyes. And you'll see that I do that in just a second. Yep. Oh god. Horrible mess. And we are going to clean that up with a Q-tip. And yes, I do wet it with my own saliva. You don't have to do that. You can rub it off with it being dry, but I just feel like it does a lot less tugging and wipes it off without disturbing the makeup if you use a really light hand with it. And Q-tips are my best friend, especially when it comes to mascara. Then just kind of fluff the lashes back out if they've been disturbed any. Next, I'm going to be using a Becca highlighter. This is the shade Champagne Pop. And I'm using a Mally Beauty brush. And I love this brush so much for highlighting, but it sheds so bad. Like one day it's just going to be nothing. Every time I wash it, it sheds so bad. It never sheds while I'm using it, just when I wash it. And I'm just afraid it's going to just disappear. And then I don't know what I'm going to use for a highlight. Now just put that on the tops of the cheekbones just to give a little bit of a glow. Also the tip of the nose. And right on the Cupid's bow just to make our lips look a little fuller. And now for brows, we're going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in medium brown. And I just use a little angled brush. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm, and it's the brand The Brow Gal. I'm not really sure. But I find that most angled brushes all kind of do the same thing. Just find one that's thin and angled, and it'll probably get the job done. I'm going to fill my brows in pretty naturally today. I'm not going to get too crazy with it. Just kind of fill in their natural shape. And I'm adding a little, you know, I do mine a little dark compared to my natural brows. But they match my hair color. And I prefer dark brows. I don't care what anybody says. Jen, if you're watching, I love my dark brows. Sue me. And now for lips, we're going to be using the NYX Butter Gloss, and I think this shade is Creme Brulee. I might be making that up. I'll try to link it in the description box. But I love these glosses. They're not sticky. They make your lips look more plump. And they're really hydrating. And they don't look weird after they wear off or anything like that. And they're pretty cheap. I think they're like $6.99 or something. I might be making that up too. I don't know. But that's the look. I hope you guys enjoyed. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Bye.